Okay, so for our Chapman points, we're going to remember them with U helps, AA, kill bugs up. And all the letters that are capitalized are the ones that stand for something. If they're not capitalized, you don't use them. So I wrote them out already. And I will start. Okay, so first we have U, upper respiratory. So for our upper respiratory, it starts off with your clavicle, your rib 1, and your rib 2. Next, we have HELPS. H is for heart. So if you'll notice, I put heart, esophagus, bronchi, and thyroid. So over here, let's add to our mnemonic. H, H-E-B, like the grocery store, T. So you just have to remember that. Then our second L is LSG, like LSD, but LSG. And then our P has PS. And you'll see why I did that in a second. So back to HELPS. The H in HELPS is heart, and then HEB, T, esophagus, bronchi, thyroid, clavicle, rib 1, rib 2. For the most part, we just bring this down and do R2, R3. Next, in HELPS, we have our U, R3, R4. Our lower lung is the first L in HELPS, R4, R5. Then the second L in HELPS is liver, and remember we wrote LSG, LSG. R5, R6, and since there's 3 of these guys, R7. Now we're just going to keep bringing it down. HELPS, P, pancreas, R7, R8. Remember this was PS up here. So pancreas and spleen. R7, R8. Now our small intestine, that's a long boy, and since it's long, it has 4 ribs, R8, R9, R10, and R11. And I like to kind of break these down like this because there's 3 parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Ileum, I don't know how to spell that. Okay, then our appendix, we always have to remember that that is 12. So we don't bring this 11 down. This is rib 12, just the tip. Our adrenals, we're out of ribs, so now we stop kind of following that pattern. Adrenals are 2 inches superior and 1 inch lateral to the umbilicus. Our kidneys, since their adrenals sit on top of the kidneys, they're only 1 inch superior, 1 inch lateral from the umbilicus. So Allie helps, AA, kill, and the kill, only the K is capitalized. So our next letters are bugs. B for bladder. And this one is periumbilical. I like to draw a little bladder and then put a dot in the middle. It kind of looks like a belly button. Our urethra is our pubic symphysis. Gonads, bug, G, anterior pubic boon. Then bugs, the S in bugs, lowercase, so we don't count it. U helps, AA kill bugs up. So last but not least, we've got our uterus, which is kind of weird. It's the medial obturator foramen. And our prostate, bugs up. is our lateral femur / IT band. Okay, so now that we have all of our anterior Chapman's points, we can do the posterior guys, and they follow pretty much the same. So for our first ones, since clavicle is kind of weird, occiput is kind of weird. Occiput. And we also have our C1 and C2. So this one does not follow the thoracic rule, but the rest pretty much do. So our heart, esophagus, bronchi, thyroid, we do T2, T3, just copying these ribs. Upper lung, T3, T4, and if you forget, you can just remember, just bring it down. Low lung, T4, T5, liver, stomach and gallbladder, 3 things, so T5, T6, and T7, pancreas and spleen, we've got our T7 and our T8, small intestine, long boy, 4 things, T8, T9, T10, T11, sorry, appendix. Appendix, you bring this down, T11 and T12. We always have to remember 12s. And this one is the transverse processes of T11 and T12. Our adrenals, they like to copy the appendix, T11 to T12. So this is where things kind of stop following the pattern. Kidneys are T12 and L1 since we're out of transverse processes. Bladder is L2, just got to remember that, transverse processes. Urethra, also L2, sorry. Our gonads, T9 to T11, those guys are weird. Let's see, let me adjust this. Yeah. Uterus is L5, transverse process, and prostate copies that. L5, transverse process. So these ones are kind of more annoying, but you just gotta remember them. There's a few other things that can get you some extra points if you can remember them for your, up here, your clavicle. I always think, I heard, ear, I heard you broke your clavicle. Then R1 and R2 represents your tonsils, R1 your sinuses, and R2 your tongue. There's also a weird one, the surgical neck of your humerus, that represents your eyes. And back here for our occiput, I always think you have eyes in the back of your head, eyes posteriorly. What else? So sometimes for liver, gallbladder, stomach, put a little star. For these guys, and your appendix, because those are either left or right-sided. Your liver and your gallbladder on your right side of your body. So it's the right rib, 5, 6, and 7. And I think R5 is the one that's representative of your liver. Pancreas and spleen, oh, your stomach, sorry. Your stomach is on more of the left side of your body. So if it's talking about R5, 6, and 7 on the left, think stomach. R5, R6, R7 on the right, think liver and gallbladder. Pancreas and spleen, those are both on the right side of your body. Sorry, the left side of your body. So think about R7 and R8 on the left. Our appendix is on the right side of our body. So R12 on the right. Let's see, am I missing anything? I think that's everything.